In the heart of Detroit stands one of the most recognizable abandoned buildings in the United States, Michigan Central Station. Towering over the Corktown neighborhood with its Beaux Arts façade and monumental scale, the station has become both a symbol of Detroit's past grandeur and its struggles with decline. For decades, it sat abandoned, a haunting reminder of the city's industrial boom and subsequent collapse. Today, Michigan Central Station is celebrated not only as a relic of history, but also as a beacon of hope for revitalization, embodying the resilience of Detroit itself. Michigan Central Station was conceived at the height of Detroit's prosperity in the early 20th century. The station opened in December 1913. Designed by the architectural firms Warren and Wetmore and Reed and Stem, the same teams responsible for Grand Central Terminal in New York. With its towering 18-story office building and lavish concourse, Michigan Central was the tallest rail station in the world at the time of its completion. It was a gateway to the city, welcoming millions of passengers from across the country and serving as a symbol of Detroit's emergence as a major industrial and cultural hub. The interior of the station reflected the elegance and optimism of the era. Its grand waiting room was modeled after the ancient Roman baths of Caracalla, with vaulted ceilings, marble walls, and towering columns. The concourse featured ornate detailing and expansive windows that bathed the hall in natural light. For passengers, entering Michigan Central Station was more than simply boarding a train. It was an experience that spoke to the power of modern transportation and the confidence of a booming city. Throughout the early and mid-20th century, Michigan Central Station thrived as Detroit became synonymous with the automobile industry and industrial might. The station connected Detroit to major cities like Chicago, New York, and St. Louis, while also providing routes into Canada. Thousands of passengers traveled daily through its doors, and during World War II, the station served as a crucial departure point for soldiers heading overseas. Its presence in Detroit's skyline became an unmistakable symbol of progress and modernity. However, the decline of Michigan Central Station mirrored the decline of American rail travel and the struggles of Detroit itself. By the 1950s and 1960s, the rise of automobile ownership, interstate highways, and air travel dramatically reduced passenger train traffic. As fewer trains passed through Detroit, the once grand station became increasingly empty. By the 1970s, the building was operating at a fraction of its former capacity, with maintenance costs overwhelming dwindling revenue. In January 1988, Amtrak officially closed Michigan Central Station and years of operation. What followed was decades of abandonment and decay. Stripped of its purpose and left vulnerable to the elements, the station became a target for vandalism, scavenging, and graffiti. Windows were shattered, copper wiring was stolen, and interior spaces once filled with travelers became dark, empty shells. Photographs of the ruined station became emblematic of Detroit's economic struggles and urban decline, often used by outsiders to symbolize the so-called fall of Motor City. Yet even in its abandoned state, Michigan Central Station captivated the imagination. Urban explorers, photographers, filmmakers, and journalists flocked to the site to document its haunting beauty. The decaying grandeur of the station became iconic in popular culture, appearing in films, music videos, and news features. Its towering silhouette against the Detroit skyline served as both a reminder of what was lost and a symbol of endurance. In recent years, Michigan Central Station has taken on a new chapter in its long history. In 2018, Ford Motor Company purchased the building with plans to restore and repurpose it as part of a new innovation hub dedicated to mobility and technology. This ambitious project aims to revitalize not only the station, but also the surrounding Corktown neighborhood, breathing new life into an area long associated with decline. Restoration work began shortly thereafter, with plans to transform the station into office space, retail, and public gathering areas, while preserving its historic architecture. The story of Michigan Central Station is more than just the tale of a building. It reflects the rise of Detroit as a global industrial powerhouse, its struggles during economic collapse, and its ongoing efforts toward renewal. The station has stood through cycles of prosperity, abandonment, and rebirth, making it a living monument to the resilience of a city that refuses to be defined solely by its hardships. For decades, Michigan Central Station stood as one of the most haunting, abandoned places in America. Today, it represents something greater: the possibility of transformation, the endurance of history, and the ability of communities to reclaim and reimagine their past. Whether seen in its abandoned state or its ongoing restoration, Michigan Central Station remains one of Detroit's most powerful symbols, embodying the city's legacy and its future.